Welcome back to the Landry Hat YouTube channel. I am your host, Zach, bringing you guys Cowboys news here, powered by FanSided. Once again, thank you so much to everybody that is allowing me to do this, taking over for the Landry Hat, making videos here, talking Cowboys with all of you. It's been a really fun season so far. The Cowboys sit at 3-3-1, the most perfect 500 record if I've ever seen one. I think we can all agree that the reason the Cowboys are 500 is because the defense hasn't been good. I've talked about Eberflus, I've talked about trade targets, I've talked about guys on that defense. I think a lot of the conversation around them comes down to they're not good enough personnel-wise. I have my gripes with Eberflus, but I also think that they need better players. You got rid of Micah Parsons, a top 3 pass rusher in the NFL, and while rushing the passer hasn't been their biggest problem, a guy like that certainly helps. And I'm here to tell you guys today, if you're unsure, you don't know if Dallas is going to make a move, this or that, I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys are 100% going to make a trade. The only question is, who is it going to be? Dallas has done a really good job over the past couple of months, really since Brian Schottenheimer got here, and he's been the head coach of keeping things really close to the vest. We didn't know about the Micah trade until 3 hours beforehand. Next thing you know, he's traded, he's gone. We didn't know about the George Pickens trade until like an hour before it happened, and that was because a guy on Twitter, Ricky Scoops, just happened to throw it out there, and the Cowboys got George Pickens. So they've done a really good job about that, and I think a lot of it has to do with Brian Schottenheimer. We've also seen quite a bit of speculation around who they could trade for. We've seen names thrown around, like Myles Garrett to start, which was never a possibility. The most recent one, Max Crosby, who I would certainly want on this Cowboys team. Apparently, the Raiders aren't interested in trading him. Dallas hasn't called the Raiders about it. I don't know what to believe. All I know is money and draft picks, they talk. If Crosby agreed to it, the Raiders agreed to it, and that's something that Dallas wanted to do for maybe one of those first-round picks, I would be more than excited. But there just hasn't been that one concrete name yet that's kind of stuck. I don't think we've gotten to that point in this trade conversation where it's one name that just constantly keeps popping up, other than fans just getting excited about this guy or this guy. I got a feeling that it's just going to randomly come up one day. Nope, Dallas traded for a defensive end or a defensive tackle or a linebacker. And we're all going to be like, oh, okay. Like that just happened within an hour. I say that they're making a trade because if you look at the Cowboys' past history of trades with a team that's around 500 or a little below and one side of the ball isn't playing well, Dallas obviously wants to be competitive. They make trades. They've made them with picks in the first round all the way to the back end of the roster with player swaps right before the season, or they've traded an aging player and sent a 5th round pick to the other team and got pretty good production. If you go back to October 25th of 2022, they traded with the Raiders for Jonathan Hankins, who was a big body run stuffer. The Raiders were just wanting to move off of him. It cost Dallas a 6th round pick. March 14th of 2023, before the start of the season, Cowboys traded with the Colts for Stephon Gilmore. Just gave up a 5th rounder for that. Brandon Cooks, Dallas sent a 2023 5th, a 2024 6th, and got Brandon Cooks. I mean, you just look at the Jonathan Mingo trade. Dallas had nothing to benefit from trading for him last year. Not saying it was a good trade, but they traded a 4th round pick for him, and the season was pretty much lost. And then they went on and traded for George Pickens, and you get my point. They've also traded for a guy in Amari Cooper that costed them a 1st round pick. I'm just saying, Dallas has made some deals with the Raiders. Max Crosby, come home, please. This team makes deals. The question now is, or the 5 W's or the 4 W's and 1 H, the who, what, when, where, and how much is it going to cost? Who is the player going to be? What caliber of player are they going to be? What position do they play? When is Dallas going to make this move? Because I feel like that's a really important piece. Is it going to be a half-year rental? If that's the case, and a team's ready to move off a guy now that you're only expecting to be here in 2025 and only help you in 2025, I would make that deal sooner rather than later. Where is that player coming from? Is it from a team that is really bad, like the Jets or the Browns or the Dolphins? What organization are they coming from? Are they ready to talk? Are they ready to deal that player? And then most importantly of all, coming from Cowboys fans, we all know this, how much is it going to cost Jerry Jones? If it's too expensive, they're not going to do it. If they feel like they're getting a deal, they will 100% do it, but it doesn't even have to be a deal. They just have to think that they're getting a deal. Hence the Jonathan Mingo trade. There's been a ton of names that make sense because the Cowboys defense needs guys at all three levels there. Any name you really spit out into the media makes sense because they need help everywhere. My list goes like defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker, defensive back. You need somebody on the edge that can rush the passer. Sam Williams hasn't been good enough. Marshawn Nealon hasn't been good enough. Clowney played better against the Commanders. James Houston has obviously played well this year. You just need some more juice on the edge. Somebody that can get after the quarterback, force errant throws, get them outside the pocket, not make third and long so easy because you're getting back there. You're able to get after the quarterback, make life harder on them. Defensive tackle is number 2 on my list. They're not good enough there either. Yes, love Kenny Clark to death. He's not a 1 tech. His natural position is at the 3 tech spot. You need a guy on the interior that can eat up double team blocks, clog up running lanes, make it easier for your linebackers to flow to the ball. Then I have linebacker. If you don't have those guys up front, it doesn't matter what linebacker you have. They're not going to be able to make plays. And then defensive back, I just feel like a lot of what they've had go wrong this year is their linebackers in coverage and the DBs just not communicating properly. I'm not sure that it's had as much to do with the individual talent on the back end as much as it has guys not understanding the scheme or Eberflus just not mixing and matching and changing coverages like he's supposed to. I guess I've seen people bring up trading for a running back. I didn't add that on my list. If Dallas wanted to do that, I would just want to focus on the defensive side of the ball, and I expect the Cowboys to do that as well. So they're going to make a trade, right? How much are they going to be willing to give up? That's going to kind of give us an idea of what kind of player you're going to be getting. Are you willing to give up a first-round pick? Well, you're probably in play for 99% of defenders around the league. Okay, well, maybe you're only willing to give up your 4th-round pick. Well, you just chop that way down. You're no longer looking at the Max Crosbys, the game changer on the edge, or a Jeffrey Simmons. You're looking more so for someone that the Titans didn't really love, but Dallas, loved pre-draft. You're not getting that premier player, and personally, I don't think trading a 4th-round pick for really any guy is going to make much of a difference. It probably needs to be pretty rich, in my opinion. I don't think it's a coincidence that Dallas has been tied to a lot of defensive linemen, edges, guys on the interior. That's not a coincidence, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they added someone there. Linebacker and defensive back seem a lot less likely. Running back seems even less likely than those. I would like to see them make a move at as many spots as they possibly can, but the defensive line for sure needs another guy. And I 100% expect Dallas to make that move. I just want it to be a needle mover. Can it please be a needle mover? That's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. Just bracing you guys that there's going to be a trade coming down the pipe here really soon. I don't have any insider information, but if you look at what Dallas has done in the past, they always do. Just what level are we talking about? Are you going to use those Micah Parsons 1st-round picks to go get somebody that actually gives you a chance to be a contender defensively? Guess we're just going to have to wait and see who it is and for how much. Thank you guys so much for watching here on the Landry Hat YouTube channel. My name's Zach. I have my own channel at Double Move where I talk Cowboys as well. If you're not subscribed here, go down there and hit that button. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.